Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and those who have yet to make up their minds. I am your host, justjack.com, and we welcome you to subscribe to our newsletter at www.justjack.com. That's just Jack with two S's because one just ain't enough. Now let's get on with the show because tonight, number one, it's hot. And so if you hear my if you hear my fan or my air conditioner in the background, please pay it no mind. You know, these little microphones, they pick up everything but boys and money. But tonight is not your average night. This ain't no Bible study with sugar cookies and coffee prepared by Christian women. But tonight we're having church, okay? I'm just playing. Oh, let me calm down. Okay, let's be serious. Seriously. Well, tonight I just want to speak from my truth, if that's all right with you. And if it isn't, keep it scrolling, honey. Keep it moving. Just kidding. But for real, because when I was sitting in my quiet space, you know, that stillness space that I talk about, that I teach about, that I do in my quiet time, this is what came to me. And I really want you to hear me when I say this. Okay. Excuse me. You didn't come here to survive history. You came here to rewrite it. You didn't show up in this time-space reality to play small and obey systems. You came to create new ones. Because what's happening out there right now, out there, all that tension, all that noise, the lies, the division, the exhaustion, it's not new. It's not new. It's the echo of the same old story we've been told for generations. But the difference is now you remember who you are. And that changes everything. We have a lot going on right now, you know, energetically, physically, cosmically. You know, tonight is a full moon in Capricorn. So make sure to join us for the full moon message, meditation, whatever we have going on tonight at 9 p.m. PST. We welcome you to come to the full moon. Excuse me. The full moon. Oh, what did we call it? We called it something. I don't remember. But it's at 9 p.m. justjack.com/full moon. I'll put it in the description. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat or something. Well, let's just talk about today we're going to be talking about what the heck is happening on this day in July of 2025. So let me just say it the simplest way. Let's start this party. Let's get this party started, all right? Because the cosmos are in full drama queen mode, darling. Write that down. Full drama queen mode. We have, remember, as above, so below, right? As above, so below, as within, so without. The cosmos can really have an effect on our physical third dimension body, the body, our third dimension, because we do live in this third dimension physical reality, right? And so when we break it down from a cosmic level, I suppose, let's start with Uranus, because we have Uranus. Oopsie. Uranus, how uncouth. Oh dear, please forgive me. We have the planet Uranus, kind of strutting on into Gemini. Really, Uranus is that little planet in the cosmos that shakes things up. You know, they don't conform. You know, Uranus does not do conformity. Do not conform. Write that down. Uranus does not conform. Uranus is unpredictable. Brilliant. Oh, brilliant. A little chaotic, but always looking to shake things up. You know, Uranus is kind of like that, that non-binary kid who shows up to Thanksgiving dinner, right? With blue hair and a manifesto. And even though they come to maybe you see disrupt your perfect holiday tradition, they have no problem speaking their mind, right? Their mind, and honestly, they have no problem when you honestly sit and listen, low key. The they thems be making some sense, you know. I recently went to a Thanksgiving dinner with my friend who is gay. By the way, gay. He is gay. He's not just gay. He's like a sister. Okay, he's an old queen. He's an old queen set in his old ways, right? Stuck in his old ways, of course. And we were there, and he said. He reminds me of Harvey Firestein. And he said, "Oh no." And I said, "What happened?" He said, "My brother's daughter is here and she's a they, them." And I laughed in his face and I was like, then stop referring to them as she, you know. And he got so mad with me because what my friend did was my friend passed judgment on a 15-year-old, really. A 15-year-old kid. A 15-year-old kid with blue hair and a manifesto. And shoved this kid into a little tiny box that he hated, right? A box of preconceived notions or maybe even some silly rhetoric that was passed on and on by silly people who have nothing better to do than to get to put their poison and instill venom into not just our society, but our communities as we know them. You know, also my gay friend, my friend, forgetting that it was not that long ago that we, me and him, he and I, as gay men, were shoved into little tiny boxes of what others, who did not even care to learn about us, shoved us into, or they tried to shove us into, right? He's doing the same thing that people back in the day did to us. And I once heard RuPaul say something along the lines of, oppressed people often take on the characteristics of their oppressors. Therefore, my friend was just as ignorant as the fools that tried to hide him away. And my friend got it handed to him that night. He did. He got it handed to him, all right, because, you know, while sitting at the Thanksgiving table, the Thanksgiving dinner table, this little 15-year-old non-binary kid with blue hair and a manifesto had such a refined palate for healthy conversation. I mean, when they talked very matter of fact, very intelligent, but with such a playful tone and energy, kind of like they're in on the game. It wasn't rude. It wasn't nasty, you know. And even when them were confronted with someone at the table, the uncle, right, the my friend's other brother, 50-year-old man, he was really intimidating, you know, and trying to get a reaction out of them. And I'm telling you, the child did not even budge. Okay? And for a 15-year-old, they had such such a discerning palate for delicious debate. I'm telling you, this kid, let me tell you, this child was dropping some wisdom. They were spitting some truth. You know, you could tell that this kid had more of an idea who they were, more than, well, any adult at the table. You know, my friend and his brother included, and the egomaniacal 50-year-old man who tried to intimidate this 15-year-old kid and could not make them conform. You know, and my friend was loving it. Oh man, he was loving it. He was not only in shock and awe, he was like, oh my goodness, because he finally sat his judgmental behind down, closed his mouth, and listened to what his, you know, niece, nephew, they, them, it thing there was saying. Like, and that's when he leaned over to me. He leaned over to me and he said, the they, them be making some sense. I love it. You know, that dinner table wasn't just a family moment. It was a snapshot of what's happening in the collective right now. You know, on one side of the table, you've got the old belief systems sitting right across from the new paradigm. But guess what? The new paradigm came to dinner unbothered, unshaken, right? And full of truth. Wisdom doesn't always come hollering or dressed in a suit and preach from a pulpit. No. Sometimes wisdom shows up with blue hair and a pronoun you weren't even ready for. Okay? But you know what? Let me tell you this. You can't receive divine truth if you're too busy judging the vessel it comes from. Write that down. You can't receive divine truth if you're too busy judging the vessel it comes in. We keep praying for answers and then ignore them when they show up in the bodies we weren't expecting. When it comes to Uranus being that kid, it's not bad energy. It's awakening energy. It's the kind of energy that says, why do we keep doing things this way? Who says? Who told us that this was the truth? Who told us this was the way and the only way? And when I say Uranus is that little planet that shakes things up, I mean it's got the disruptive genius energy. Write that down. A disruptive genius energy. Restless, curious, radical, and just mischievous enough to change the world. That's the energy that doesn't ask for permission. It just shows up and shifts the room. Uranus is like that cool cousin. We all have them. That cool cousin that don't got no rules, don't got no gender, no job. And they're still out changing the world, because Uranus, no matter how disruptive it may seem, Uranus will always move us in the direction for the greater good of the universe. So when Uranus moves into Gemini, Gemini being the curious, a twin energy, right? Gemini, the communicator, right? The one that can adapt to any conversation, because Gemini can be both, right? Gemini is that energy of duality, the light and the dark, the good and the evil, the sacred and the irreverent, divine and human. You could say Gemini is non-binary, right? Boy and girl. Gemini is not going to decide on just one. She can do both. She's here to explore Honey, she wants to see what's out there and communicate with it, with all of it. She wants to experience communication with everything and everyone. The good, the bad, the ugly ones who her parents warned her about. She wants to try it all. That is what's happening in the cosmos. The cool cousin came in and said, hey sis, let's go. So when Uranus, the disruptor, moves into Gemini, the communicator, you get this vibe. You get this vibe of let's see, like kind of like, let's question everything you were taught to believe, and let's shake up how you think, how you speak, how you share your truth with the world. Let's bring out the parts of your mind you didn't even know were hiding. That is what is happening right now. That alone is shaking up everything we think we know about how we talk, how we think, how we connect. Uranus and Gemini is the voice you weren't expecting, but the truth you cannot ignore. It's more than a cute dinner table story. It's a masterclass in what Uranus and Gemini looks like in real time. Disruption with dignity. Wisdom wrapped in youth. That's how our soul talks to us when we're listening. That inner dialogue, right? How we speak to ourselves, even that is under review. The stories we tell ourselves, they're being rewritten. Right now, you may be rethinking everything. The way you treat yourself, what you say online, how you show up online, what you thought was the truth. Old beliefs. Old beliefs pushed up to the surface like they want to be seen for what they really are. Outdated. Limited. Not you no more. And it's not just Uranus. No. Neptune and Saturn are both retrograde too. I think we have like 4 planets right now in retrograde. Mercury's getting ready to back their thing up later this month. You know, we are in a pause and reflect season. Pause and reflect. It doesn't look like rest. It feels like frustration. Only because we don't always know how to sit still when things are shifting. As James Baldwin said, not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it's faced. And right now, honey, boo, we are facing it. People are tired. Look around. Look around. Let's call the spade a spade. Everyone's exhausted, not just physically, but spiritually, mentally, soul tired, S-O-U-L and S-O-L-E, tired. They're working hard. And the systems around them keep taking and taking more and more. Need not worry about the systems. I've been saying this for since the dawn of time. The systems of collapsing. You know, even in the Periscope days, I was talking about systems collapsing, and even before that, I was talking about systems collapsing. And look, the whole thing is crumbling. For those of you guys who have been on this journey with me for quite some time, how many times do I tell you guys? It's all for the fulfillment of the prophecy. It's all been written there before. This is nothing new. Let it crumble. You are not here to fix old systems. You're here to build new ones from the ground up, from the soul up. Don't let the mainstream media or the social media fool you. Don't let fear sit in the driver's seat. That's the distraction. That's the distraction. The real work is inside. Inside. Where only you can go. No one can go with you. It's about your healing, your vision, your leadership. And that's why all this cosmic shaking is happening, so you can reclaim your power. The old world is crumbling while new world is being born. And you're the bridge. You're the bridge. And I know bridges get walked all over. I know they get pressure from both sides, but let me tell you this. A bridge is also strong, and it connects people, and it holds space for moving forward. And I know it can be exhausting. Everyone's exhausted. Lots of people are scared. We're exhausted from the fear. They're so scared. People are scared of what's going on in the world, scared to leave their home, scared that their jobs are not secure. I know you're scared. I know. And I know you're tired. I know. And I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. But I say this as lovingly as possible. It's just a reminder. This, it's all a clever ruse. It's a trick. It's a distraction. It's a good old-fashioned bait and switch to keep you from doing the inner work, the stillness part of the work, the self-trust part of the work, the knowing part of the work, the kind of knowing that can't be found on a scroll, a search bar, or a spreadsheet. Like I said, it's all fake. It's all fake. Like Hollywood, artificial. Remember that old Betty Davis line? Hedda Hopper was trying to get Betty Davis, to say something vile about Joan Crawford, just so she could put it in the gossip column in one of her what is it called? Poison pen columns, And Hedda Hopper was like, but this is real life, Betty. And Betty Davis goes, real life? Ha! This is Hollywood, Hedda. It's all fake, from the manicured lawns in the desert to your manufactured concern. It's all scripted. It's all scripted, from the news stories and headlines to the spiritual sound bits that look cute on the internet. It's all been curated. Write that word down. It's all been curated to distract, you see. A script designed to distract us. Me and you, the person who's listening. I'm still in this world, ain't I? Just because I have a microphone and a platform don't mean that I'm any better or less than you. We're all in this together. And the script has been designed to distract us because when we're distracted, we're disconnected. Disconnected from our truth. Disconnected from our purpose. Disconnected from our own dang minds, that's for sure. And disconnection leads to bondage. Write that down. Disconnection leads to bondage. And when you are in bondage, you are easily manipulated. And when any external source has the power to manipulate you, it means you are easily controlled. And that's the game, right? That's the game. That's the game that they play with us. Us. Me and you. Keep them scrolling. Keep them stressed. If they keep us scrolling, if all we do is constantly scroll through a feed, And they keep feeding us things that cause us to be stressed and keep you spiritually sedated with the side of aesthetic affirmations, right? And algorithm approved chaos. But let me tell you something. Just because it's scripted doesn't mean you gotta keep playing the part that they handed you. You didn't audition for captivity, boo. You were cast to break the chains. So yeah, the world might be spinning some fiction. But right here, right now, to you listening, not today. Not today. This is the place where you set yourself free from the illusion of bondage. Here, when you hang around this space with us, you realize it may be a script, but you're the main character. And when you're able to understand life's twisted hoax, it's kind of like we're able to flip the script on them. And when they try to tell us how we are supposed to be, we show them who we are, who we really came to be. We don't have to keep saying the lines that they gave us, because we turn off the noise. Here at Just Jack Enterprises, that's what my brother calls it, Just Jack Enterprises. But here at Just Jack Enterprises, we do the work. You know, I told you already, this ain't your grandmama's weekly Bible study. We do practical over here at Just Jack Enterprises. So take out your business binders. We're going to do some practical steps. If you don't have a business binder, one of my teachers had us get a business binder, and we just put all of our notes in there. So the students and my friends and my family who come watch me, they know I'm gonna give them some practical steps. You know, don't worry, I'm not gonna give you a 12-step ascended masters program. Oh, and I say that with love. I don't mean to, insult, because Lord knows I need a few steps for myself. Maybe an ascended master's teaching would be cool. Who knows? All right, never mind that. Do you have your business binders out? Get your sheet of paper, and on the first line in big letters, we'll take about 5 lines, or 6 lines, or 7 or 8, 9, 10 lines, and I want you to write "tune in," I-N in capital letters. Tune in, I-N capital letters. Tap out, out capital letters. So tune in, tap out. In and out are capitalized. Tune in, tap out. This week, just focus, whenever you're listening to this, by the way, focus on tuning in and tapping out, in the physical world. Cancel something this week. Jesus, say no. No is a complete sentence. When you say no, you make space for rest without guilt. Lots of you guys need to rest. I have been watching you guys go nonstop. Not right now. That's one of my favorite things to say. I learned that from my friend Eden. Not right now. We can figure out what can be postponed, right? Not right now. Somebody calls us and they say, "Hey, do you want to go to the bar?" We say, "Not right now. Thank you." Somebody says, "Oh my gosh, I miss you and I need you back in my life. Can we please talk?" You say, "Not right now." Somebody says, "Hey, you want to come make some money?" And I say, "I got time." Just kidding. Figure out what you can postpone. And like I said, let your body rest. Let your body take a brain break. Write that down. You guys know what the brain break is. I work with peace education programs, and these programs go into the schoolhouses and teach the children peaceful practices. And one of these practices is the brain break. And what happens is, what happens is the teacher sets an alarm and different hours of the day. And the children, the little ones, they know when that alarm rings to stop everything that you're doing and take a brain break. A quick little 1-minute pause where we can be mindful of our breathing. We can recenter ourselves, realign ourselves, and really let our brains take a little break. You know, our brains are constantly working, always on the go, 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 go. They deserve a little peace and quiet every now and then, even if only for a moment. So maybe set an alarm for any time of the day, on any day of the week, and train yourself to really take a brain break. Take a brain break. Take a walk outside without your phone, without the headbuds, the AirPods in the ears, just with your thoughts. Scary, I know. But when we walk out in nature, what did Grace Coddington, is that her name from Vogue? Grace Coddington said, don't fall asleep on the planes, don't fall asleep on the trains, don't fall asleep in the car. Keep an eye out, because there is so much to see, even if you live in a busy city like San Diego, California. There is so much to see on the outside that just may light a flame of inspiration on the inside. And speaking of inside, the spiritual work, you could write a letter. You can write a letter to the cosmos and be petty. If you want, be honest. It's all inside anyways. I told you. It's a clever ruse, right? Play with it. Play with it. It's just a cosmic dance. You know, in the song we're all singing in the universe, right? The universe, one song. Uni means one, verse means song. In the universe, we're just dancing with the cosmos. And no one has to really teach us how to dance. We just move and dance, you know? We allow the cosmos and the planets, Uranus, to come in and disrupt what doesn't belong. Because sometimes that disruption means we can clean up shop and start fresh, you know? Allow it to show you to be who you are instead of what you've been pretending to be. How about that? You may want to light a candle. Light a candle and ask, what am I pretending to be? And what do I believe I really can be? Then hush. Hush. Quiet. Stillness is the key. Sit in the stillness, because in the stillness, silence speaks. What's that verse from the big book? Be still and know that I am God. Remember who you are. Metaphysically, recognize the game behind the game. Pay no attention to the creature behind the curtain. Look beyond the physical. Look at the metaphysical. Yes, meta meaning beyond. And physical, so beyond the physical. Every piece of chaos out there is trying to keep you from sitting still enough to hear your own wisdom. Everything trying to keep you busy and stressed is designed to keep you from seeing how powerful your stillness really is. Your stillness taps into a power that is beyond physical. And I'm not talking about sitting still, meditating. I'm talking about the stillness of the mind. The inside work that requires us to look within. Remember, they can distract your eyes, but they can't steal your inner knowing. Carl Jung once said, the only way out is in. Write that down. The only way out is in. And let me just say this before I go. If everything feels like it's shaking right now, it's because it is. But shaking doesn't always mean destruction. Sometimes a good shake is alignment. I like a good shake every now and then, especially a shimmy shake. You know, when a nice gentleman gives me a wink and a shimmy, I shake. And sometimes the shake just shimmies us right on over to a direction that we really belong in, a direction that is pain-free, a direction where we are peaceful, a direction where our feet are the most happiest. Sometimes the old has to stay old behind us in the past. Because the old will not allow us to create the new. The old will be set in its own ways. Its old ways. And quite frankly, the old just isn't working for us. And so we gotta go try something new. The old world had its shot. Don't feel bad. The old world had its shot, and look where it got us. It got us wars dressed up as patriotism, power plays passed off as leadership, systems so outdated they couldn't even plug it into their ass without blowing a fuse. So no, we don't try to fix the old. We have no alternative but to try something new. I mean, yeah, we could keep fighting their battles. We could. We've seen it. Or we could rise up in love, rise up in truth. Rise up in who we really came here to be. Link arms while standing forefront in the battle of love. Like my friend Ivy said, we didn't come here to perpetuate stereotypes, we came to break them. We came here to bring our own light in our own way. You know, your way with your voice, through your work, your rest, your boundaries, your vision. You came here to be a living, breathing interruption to the status quo. So if you're feeling the pressure, the grief, the confusion, good. Good. That means you're tuned in. But do not stay in the place of pressure, grief, confusion. Move with it. Shimmy, scoot. Let it open something new. We are being asked right now to choose soul over story. To choose purpose over programming. We are being asked right now to choose power over perfection. This is the best time to be alive. So rest, reflect, reclaim, honey. And tonight, just promise me this. Promise me you'll give yourself grace. And promise me you'll speak some truth. And promise me you'll laugh, a little laughter through the madness. Because no matter what the stars do, no matter what the news says, no matter how intimidating leaving your past behind you may be, you know who you are. And it's just time to embody it, boo. I'll see you tonight for our full moon message at 9 p.m. PST. justjack.com/full moon. I think it'll also be on our YouTube. And listen, if you've been feeling like maybe you're ready for more, not just this free stuff that I give out to the public, but maybe more in depth, maybe more soul stirring stuff that I teach online, or maybe you're looking for community, I invite you, come with us, join the membership. It's only $25 a month. It's not an MLM or a get rich quick scheme. It's well, I hate to be so blasé about it, but it's more like a ministry, and it's more of a mission, a movement. This is community. It's like an online classroom where we don't just talk about change, we actually live it, and we do it, and we change it together. When you join the monthly membership, you get so much training from so many different people who are actually working their online businesses and getting results. And plus, you get access to my private stuff, my videos, my audios, my tools, my strategy sessions. Now, don't get it twisted. These aren't just cute little cosmic sermons, okay? I got real tools. We got real tools to build your business, especially if it's soul-led, if it's a soul-led business. Me personally, not everybody, but me personally, I do voice note coaching when my students get stuck. So I also offer strategy sessions to keep them moving in the membership. But most importantly, I think, is when you become a member, you don't have to do it alone anymore. And I feel like lots of people have been carrying so much by themselves for too long. So I welcome you to link arms with me, and let's carry it together, and let's go out there, and let's just go serve the community. This is the time. I'll see you tonight at the that website is justjack.com/HBA. It's also on our website, but HBA, hot, bothered, annoyed, just kidding. justjack.com/HBA. And I will see you guys on the flip side. Make sure to subscribe to our newsletter at justjack.com/email. Make sure to confirm your subscription to our newsletter, otherwise we can't send it out to you. And I will see you guys tonight for the full moon massacre. Just kidding. The full moon motivation, meditation, whatever we called it. I don't know. All right, I'm out of here. Lots of love. Talk to you later. Peace out. Bye, Felicia.